Hi everyone, my name is Rohit. I'm Practice Director with the Everest Group's Life Sciences Tech and Tech Services team. We have recently wrapped our 2025 season for peak metrics assessments, and one of the key assessments we did this year was Viva Services Assessment. The headline message coming out of this assessment was how rapidly Viva ecosystem is expanding. And today I also have with me Animesh, who was the lead on this assessment. And Animesh, what do you think about the landscape and how rapidly it has expanded? What are your thoughts on this?
Yes, Rohit. So in 2021, when we did the first iteration, we featured about 15 service provider. But this year, that number has grown to about 35, and which is still half of the recognized market. And if you talk about the market size itself, it is now close to about $2 billion. And the shift has not just been in numbers, but also in maturity. So we see that service providers are now shifting from pure implementation role to broader transformation role, which spans across clinical, regulatory, quality, and now even commercial with the ongoing CRM transformation wave.
Great point you make there, right? And maybe I'll just pick up from where you left. CRM migrations. I think it's an age-old story now. Viva, Salesforce, the migrations that are happening. But believe you me, this is one of the strongest drivers of CRM migrations or the CRM services that we've seen over the last, I think, close to 18 to 24 months. And I think this will continue to drive, as enterprises are required to make this shift till 2030. And along with this unification of, development cloud modules, I think that is another major push that enterprises are doing when it comes to the entire Viva landscape. And an underlying tone of demand here, which I think, and also in the form of service that is rising, is that of consulting, because enterprises, they have a lot of questions. Which CRM to pick, be it Viva or Salesforce, which modules to pick, are they ready for the big migrations? Because again, this is not a simple lift and shift. This is not just another migration. This is once in say 10, 15, or a 20-year opportunity for them to completely revamp how they are engaging with their customers, with their patients, with their internal stakeholders. And in the same breath, I would like to understand, and I personally believe that this would be the case, but again, coming from you, do you also see buyer expectations from service providers, buyer expectations from technology? Has it changed? If yes, how it has changed over the last, say, 4 to 5 years?
So exactly, Rohit. So one of the messages that came through loud and clear was scale no longer wins the race. And a lot of us during our conversation raised concerns around incomplete handovers, lack of ownership, coordination gap, that too, especially in the multi-shore delivery models. And what we are seeing is enterprises are not focusing too much on AI, while that is the narrative being pushed by the service provider. When you look at their decision criteria, AI ranks relatively lower. So what enterprises today are focusing are the three C's: the customization, the cost, and the compliance. So this is where we see clear demarcation of providers in the market, the GSI, the likes of Accenture, Cognizant, TCS, and also the boutique specialists such as NNIT and Connexus.
Yeah. Again, I'll pick up this thread, and this is what I'm hearing a lot more in my recent conversations, both with both the set of providers and enterprises, wherein for enterprises there's a clear demarcation of what kind of work to outsource to what kind of provider. Talked about ESIs, they will always be in the mix. Enterprises, they want to give their large scale end-to-end multi-tower migration deals to someone like an Accenture or a Cognizant. No points for guessing that one. But a trend which was always there, but now is coming forward more strongly, is even enterprises wanting to work with specialists. So they identify that there are certain nuances, be it the domain nuance, be it the geo nuance, where they know a specialist has that expertise, be it tech, be it existing accelerators, be it as simple as talent to do that. So even enterprises now demand that for the large engagements they want GSIs to handle that, but for these smaller, nuanced, more domain-oriented work, they demand to work with a boutique firm. So we kind of are seeing quote unquote a hybrid delivery model emerging, and even providers are not alien to this. So they are also piggybacking on each other, and together they are taking this combined proposition to market. So do you think there's value here, because this model always existed, and now there's a lot more chatter has picked up around this? And while there are a lot of formal partnerships, but there are a lot of informal partnerships as well. in the market while we speak?
Yes, Rohit. So what we have seen is typically when this hybrid model is executed well, clients benefits because they get faster implementation cycle, they get smoother validation, they get higher configuration. So and this also gives them the best of both the world. They from GSI they get the larger governance and the scale, and the specialists come in with the nuances which a lot of GSIs might often overlook.
Great insights on exactly what we are seeing in markets. I think this is a wrap for this chat around Viva landscape. So net, what stick out to me was, right now Viva Services is not about only scale or certifications. I would say it's a delightful cocktail of domain expertise, continued support, and innovation.